the micro bounce back of Bitcoin kind of got a lot of different people. They were all looking for the breakout, but few were looking for the confirmation of this breakout. And that made a lot of difference. So rather than jumping into that wick high, some of us waited outside knowing that there is a chance that they are trying to trap you. We discussed that here in yesterday's video. We went through that in detail a week back, 2 days back, 3 days back, 4 days back. I gave you guys the thought process. Watch, higher odds scenario is still this. Unless you see what? A break higher, but if it does not close above, that will be a fake move. Make sure it's not a fake move. And this is the only post where the price was above that particular wick high. Other than that, each and every post showed you that the price is going to go down. And not only for Bitcoin, there's a lot of different assets in the market which we are going through, giving you guys the right update about all of these assets in your portfolio. You'll get that here in the SI family. If you want to join the party, use that link in the description below. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We went through and discussed about this possibility. There is going to be a wick high and then it can get rejected, come back down to make a double bottom and then go higher. So the same thought process was shared in Bitcoin as well. Reason? The hanging man candle. If you get another candle close above it, yeah, that's getting invalidated. If not, that can be a fake out to trap people to the downside. Now, we're watching somewhat something like that play. Now, you do have a divergence playing out in front of you. You don't have to go onto an hourly chart for that. You can start from a 4-hour structure. The 4-hour structure, as we discussed before, just exactly the same move. How many of you remember us talking about this pattern in comparison with gold? We used gold to show you guys, okay, watch guys, on a macro chart, gold has done this again and again over historical time periods. So if you look at it on a daily, you can look at it on a 3-day, you still get the exact same pattern, giving you a wick higher, trapping people, and then going lower. And possibilities are that's exactly what we are watching right now on a shorter horizon in Bitcoin. We discussed about that. In the Scientific Investor family, you get to be well educated about the odds of what may happen. Now, with that being said, you also have to keep in mind, okay, that's the 4-hour scenario. You go on a 12-hour higher time frame. That shows you what now? The higher time frame scenario shows you the bearish engulfing candle, erasing last 2-3 candles. So we're like, whoa, that's negative. I want to see the daily. And that daily again gives you, we erased last 2 days of price action, volatility, uncertainty in the most recently closed daily. So you got that, right? We get to see that. Now, in XRP terms, you would be looking at this and asking like, whoa, XRP is really strong. Yeah, I agree. I'm a bit surprised, but let me give you some clarity. I believe you should not miss this. Whenever you get a wick to the upside like this and follow through a couple other wicks, it shows the price wanted to go higher, but it met with supply. Supply and demand, that's basic equation. So when you're being met with enormous supply, each buy price pushing to the upside is being used by someone else to sell and move out. That's what you're watching. It's not the first time you have seen that. It's not the first time. It's not the first time. You have seen this again and again and again until we get absolute buying momentum with volume. We may not be able to pass through this. But yes, for sure, XRP is showing you any change in the market sentiment will allow XRP to break through. Look at the MACD. It's crossing back to the upside and it is about to reach the positive territory on a weekly. That's substantial. It doesn't happen every now and then. Last time that happened, it was somewhat here. And the price moved from 0.35 all the way up to 0.95. That was a decent move. So on the current terminology, if you come back down to 0.5, we're arguing the price can go up to 1.2 to $1.5. That's great in itself. Because the market as a whole is slow and XRP giving you something like this would be great. Yes, for sure, you'll have to look at all the other assets, highly correlated asset, uncorrelated asset to see what they show you. This is XLM. On XLM, friend, what you're watching is you had this fake out to the downside. So for me, maybe I'm wrong, but I think a retest like this would make a lot of sense on the microwave structure to the upside. And don't get me wrong, that three-wave structure is micro, which I believe is going to be the first leg there before you go higher. Now, the second wave usually is big. The correction again is volatile. Then you go further high. So this is something we may see. But the time consumed for this is not what I'm representing here. The time taken is limited. We know once it starts, each leg up is like 20 to 30 days. So you don't have too much time. And this is a highly correlated asset of XRP. Now say you go into the same market, you are looking at the same asset class, and you're like, okay, payments are trying to show you something. That's a long-term trend line all the way from 2021, arguing you payments are making its bottom. And not only that, the MACD gives you the perspective. I'm trying to cross back to the upside and I'm about to enter into the positive zone, not only in a micro cap payments, but also on a macro. So what should the whales do? They'll give you a fake out saying, I'm going down. And then it will go back up. This is what the majority is not counting on. And most likely, you may see this. The current market fluctuation is intended to confuse the people. And that's exactly what I've been saying throughout these posts. Micro trap. But it will be a macro blast off. We talked about these scenarios in detail in the last 2-3 videos. So if you want to understand the basics, go watch those videos. It's going to help you massively to understand what exactly is going on now, because we talked about it before. Now, coming back into this, you'll also have to watch the Bitcoin dominance, because the Bitcoin dominance is going to give you that idea where money flow is going into. Remember, in yesterday's video, we drew this, right? We talked about this possibility of that being a rejection point. And at that rejection point, inside this macro rising wedge, which is in itself a bearish candle structure, if we can break to the downside, that's the holy grail for altcoin market. But can we do that now? Are we about to see that? Like, those are the questions we will have to answer. But right now, the idea which you should keep in your mind is the breakout to the upside on a weekly is confirmed. So the range extension in Bitcoin should be eyed. There is no doubt on that, friend, or there should not be any doubt. The odds of this then breaking to the upside, at least as a wick high like this, is substantial. Again, why? That question is important, because at that point you understand the fact that, okay, this is what we are looking at. The majority may think we're breaking to the upside. They jump out of the altcoin, move into the Bitcoin, boom, the dominance goes back down. This is how the whales play the game. If you are a whale watcher, whale hunter, it's all good. That's the way you will have to play. But remember, when you see a trend line breaking to the downside, now you are in a slippery slope. And the RSI showed you just that. So if you are prepared well, look at the altcoin market, use this opportunity to the max. Because here we talked about Ether in yesterday's video. Just like you can see on a daily chart, you're still at that resistance. We argued we're going to come back up, retest this, and get rejected. Now we are close to a rejective point. So if you do get rejected, look for $2,800. If it makes a higher low around 2,900 to 3,000, good. That's perfect. Because then you go on a weekly chart of the same Ether and you understand, okay, we're traveling to the upside. That's a micro leg to the downside before a most likely breakout. So whether it's Ether, whether it's XRP, whether it's Bitcoin, the total market structure for cryptocurrencies are showing you it's here. We put this argument maybe 3 days back saying this is what we are watching. Something similar to October 2023, right? And then it went back up mid-October 2023. That's one of the primary reasons I've been saying, watch September, watch October. Give few weeks here, early in the August, to correct, then consolidate, and then by September, push back higher. If you are participating in that and you would like to look through all these different sorts of crypto assets to understand where the opportunities are, in which segments, in which cap, be in the Scientific Investor family. Use the link in the description below to get the maximum value out of this bull market. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button for me, please do that favor. Smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.